Hello and welcome to another video. Thank you for joining me. Um, Last time I caught up on the old BitTorrent thing, I had actually started going off on like a random like job queue execution type library. So I did like quite a bunch off screen. I came back from the conference not feeling super flash, so I don't know, spent a lot of time on my laptop. But I did end up writing a bunch of code, some of which is to do with like a job list, which cool, that's a thing. But I'm not actually using that anymore. So like there was a critical event loop. I think I might have a little touch of water. It's like a little warm, just a touch. So yeah, there was this like job event loop, but kind of where I'm wanting to look at today is pretty much everything I've got below it is almost like a re-implementation of just everything I've done so far. So I suppose I'll uh, let's go back and not jump through so quick. Um, I thought quite a long time ago that I kind of wanted a bunch of structures to kind of organize some of the chaos that is a torrent file. So I made kind of a largish structure here, and it's also got like a couple of types that don't quite exist yet, but I'll talk about them. Well, they do actually exist, but one, for example, is queue, where I wanted a like first in, first out type thing, which I've implemented with just a linked list, which is, I don't know, reasonably straightforward. But I can talk through that. And I've also kind of gotten a notion of like a single connection, which is what a individual thread will hold on to. So the idea still is that we are kind of having a thread per pair, which will just help it go so much better. And so to kind of get these things, I've made kind of two helpers, parse, magnet URL job, which could probably not have the job on it anymore, and it'll still do the same thing. Because it takes a thing. It's a hangover from before. And we've also got a pass torrent file job, which just takes a torrent file. So I can't remember, but did I actually have to recall them both? Nah, so I almost need to have another little job that will kind of get both, do this little check here, because otherwise, well, I suppose like download torrent from input job is one thing, but downloading is not just the only thing that you want to do with torrent. But I suppose this kind of thing is, yeah, it's this one's just downloading it, but I suppose let's jump back to where I was, which was way back up, and I should just like not jump like that. It's probably like real disorientating. Right, so we got the parse file job, and if we kind of have a look through this, this is exactly the same as what was happening in the either main or common.c or somewhere. So I'm trying to kind of put it in one place, and at the moment that is in job.c, but I hope I'm able to kind of pull it out a bit today and put it in a better place. We've also got this get pairs job, which again, like the job is kind of a hangover. And what that will do is it will do like a lock on the whole torrent. So I might need to rework this because, or kind of like I only really need a lock on writing the pairs part and not the rest of it. But and I don't kind of religiously use the read lock, which can cause issues. But I think I do actually, but it's been a while since I've actually done locking on the phone because like you don't really need to. So this again does kind of the same thing. It gets a tracker response and it does this. Now the problem is that the pairs job, if we don't have a tracker, that's going to have an issue when we're like doing magnet URLs. So for now, I'm kind of just assuming that it'll just work, but it won't. So I suppose I'm assuming it'll not work. But that's that. Yeah, so it like gets a lock here, but then it doesn't unlock that read lock, which yeah, the locking on the torrent will need some work. So it's kind of good walking through this to just kind of work out what's what. So the handshake will kind of get a handshake. And in fact, I think I don't even use this one anymore. I potentially do though. I don't know. Because I've also kind of done these info things, which should be able to go from a torrent file. But again, like this doesn't really need to depend on a job. Uh, I had this grand scheme that the interface will need an event queue, which it will at some point. But for now, I think I'm going to take pretty much what I've written, mm, get it in a good format, commit it up, and get things going. And yeah, so like the info stuff is all just the same. And then here we got some funny things. Gosh, been used to the other keyboard. Cool. So here we have a certain thing. Yeah, I think that's probably a message for here. So I've kind of got a few different things that I've written that are kind of helpful. Um, and like random comment there, but like I don't know why isn't it like hard to know. Some of this is kind of taken from the other one, but here's like where the kind of crux of it is. So this handle connection is actually called for every thread, like a thread is created. Apologies for that. A thread is created for every pair, and then that pair will have a connection. So I guess this does run into one limitation that at the moment I'm only having one per pair, but like potentially one pair could have several connections going on at the same time. Hard to know. The whole system should still work no matter which way I do it. I could just throw more pairs in and it should be all right. Is the gist I kind of get. Um, but yeah, so kind of what happens here is we handshake a pair, so that's kind of what we did before. Then here we uh, keep track of the request, and this request is kind of the request remaining, or like the request that we're expecting to receive, so outstanding, I guess. And I've got to complete in it. And so pretty much this loop is now going to go until it's either completed or it's not initialized. And if it has been initialized, it'll say how many requests it's still got going. And the gist is, this is very similar to the last one. And so we would have got a bit field to start with, then we send an interested. We store a bit of state now this time, which I uh, could use at some point, but at the moment I don't. But yeah, we should get send that interested, then send back an unchoke. Um, and when we get the unchoke, we will pretty much only send 5 requests. So this is as suggested by one paper. I forget the name of the paper, but incentives build robustness in BitTorrent. That is just some like I don't know. They come up with strange titles. I mean, I had to at some point, but yeah, this pipeline kind of suggests that you should pretty much have typically 5 request pipeline at a time. So that is what we get in this one here. And we use this queue. So the queue is something I've written. Um, Apologies, my nose is still like a little, but that is what it is. Uh, and so after we send all these 5 requests, if there's an off chance that we sent none, we'll just say that's it. We have nothing to go. In which case, like, yeah, we should potentially set some flags back. I don't know, have this pair connection. But like really what this will do, it will break out the switch, break out the while condition, and it will kill the thread that is in it. And that should return false doesn't really make sense, I think. What do I want to go? I want to go return no. Gosh. And do we have any other returns? Just this one here is probably a bit unusual. Cool. So that means that we have pretty much sent off 5 things. We should increment requests by 5. So we should be expecting 5 requests at this stage. Hypothetical. In which case, we still kind of go through and we're waiting for more packets. And as packets come in, we deal to them. And when a piece comes in, we do pretty much the same checking we do. We do a bit more logging. As you may have seen down the bottom here, there's a bit of logging. And what this will do is it will, once it reads a whole thing into the piece, it will read that whole, yeah, it will read that whole, it will decrement the request, so we're not waiting on that request anymore, but then it will pretty much bump up the request back up to 5, which yeah, there is a chance that this can go down to 4 than 3 if there's nothing in the queue at those stage. But from my understanding, from where we'll get to, the queue will be empty when the file is downloaded. Well, it hasn't been checked at this stage, I guess. So I guess that's like another little thing that we can do before we kind of close the connection that we do the hashtag. But for now, I will just do. I don't know. I'm thinking long term, but who knows how long this is going to go. But yeah, so this download job, it will pretty much parse the job. It will get the pairs, set up a bunch of long-term storage. So this is stuff that's going to be stored in malloc and calloc. So pretty much we do like 4 allocations, and that's it. All quite large ones. And I mean, we could even jump them together, but I don't know. For now, this is what I do. So yeah, we do this, and yeah, I guess it's kind of interesting. So we're handling the request, then we send all these requests out. So we pretty much queue them into the torrent has a request queue, which we'll talk about very soon, I would say. And then you go and do the pthread join. But I wonder if in here we actually do like a fix me check. Um, wait in to torrent. So I think I want to do that. But also like and also I don't know, probably need another queue queue to track outstanding rather than just hunter. Um, then wait until both both are empty. Yeah, I think that's probably what I want to do. Oh, pardon me, I don't know how to mute. Apologies. Mm. Right. So I think what I will do is get up insert mode. So yeah, we join the thread, then we do the hash check. So I think we need to somehow determine whether like each we need a way to determine whether each pair has actually been done, and not which pair, which piece. And so, like, Torrent has some data that I could potentially use off that. But yeah, I guess that was that far. But the other one that I've kind of done, yeah, sure. And I guess a little sample on how it kind of goes is we can have a look see at all of this. So this is like a lot of logging. We can increase it or decrease it depending on what we want. But I thought this is kind of nice. So here we have like all the um, uh, pretty much messages. So we can see kind of as it's going through, and like some might be a bit overkill, like the reading and writing. which I've already hidden in another way, but because of the way that did it, is done a little different. Um, but yeah, so I guess this gives us a nice in to have a uh, look at maybe if we do something like that. No, no, we want that one. Right. So how does the queue work? Well, actually, no. I did want to briefly look back at the job and just a tone file because yeah, we did a piece, and in this piece, we could probably have a size t um, requests outstanding, something like that. But we would probably need to have a lock on that piece structure. I think that would be the case. Um, yes, cool. So yeah, I wonder. Like we need a lock for the pairs and we need a lock for the pieces, but we don't really need a lock on each on like all the pieces. Like when we write one, like when we write one, it's probably good enough that we can write on. Yeah, I reckon this would probably want a like a P thread. So we probably want a. Uh, we can probably get away with just a mutex of a lot, and also a quantity of um, um, I mean, I guess we could just have a con. I mean, it's not really a good condition name. What complete? We can call it complete, and that is when there are 0 requests outstanding on that particular piece. I guess that's what we would want. Yeah, and we would just have to initialize those two things there. Hmm. I just want to. I want to go down there. Yeah, that's why I was lost. Um, cool. So we have a. There is now in uh, uh, pieces. And can't remember if you um, had a complete. Yeah, because what I think we can do is kind of just do that and then loop through and do that. But anyway, that's enough dilly dallying, and well, let's have a look at the queue. So the queue, pretty much you have a node which has next and a previous, and then you have a main structure which has a head and a tail and a size. These are just because memory is pretty cheap, and like it makes certain things easier to expand to um, make certain operations a little cheaper. So I guess what does this sort of thing kind of all let you do? So you might have like a like box like this, but in here you might have a how do we make a better box? We could do something like boom, and uh, that one, and cool. And if we do something like that and something like that, then we can cool do this. Right, so we might have a node here, and it has a previous and a next. And this is like kind of a cumbersome way of drawing. I do actually have the old GIMP. Yeah, I've got the old GIMP. Let's give it a go. How do we do things? I think we just like create a new. Do we have to like? Yeah, sure. That's what I want to do. So what do I want? I want probably like oh, paintbrush. Is that what I want? So like just a pen. Not seeing just a pen. A paintbrush. It is cool. And is that like yeah, cool. What about the thickness? Let's do something like that. So we have pretty much a queue, and we have a head, we and a tail, and the head points to a no. Gosh, this is like not much better. And that has a so it has a previous and a next, and at the moment the previous is nothing, and at the start next is also nothing. And ideally, head and tail will point to the same thing to start with. To start with, they'll start point to nothing. Apologies for that; that was quite loud. So they'll both point to nothing, and the first one you'll add this, and then you'll say that's one. Then the next one you come around and you look at the head, and you see that it's got nothing after it. So you'll actually kind of make a new node there, which is exactly the same size, and that's going to have a previous and a next. Now, this previous is actually going to point to there, but the next is not. And this tail, the tail is no longer going to reach there. It is going to go to this one, just straight over there. And then when you want to kind of remove things, if you do like a first in, first out, you can then go, right, give me the tail and set the tail to be whatever the tail was the previous pointer, so pretty much up there. And if it was just this, then it would just set it back to null. And if it was null, then you'll be like, well, you can't pull anything out of this, and there's checks in place for that. So that's like kind of the two operations that are done reasonably cheaply, just adding a thing and removing a thing from the front or the back. So you could go both ways. At the moment, I've kind of made it so the push pot on one end, but you can also have two other methods that you could kind of push to the back and then pop from the front, or vice versa, whichever way around it works. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. Now, also has some locking involved. So that's done with just mutexes and whatnot. And so, uh, yeah, what we do, the heads data, I don't think we actually use anymore. It may have just been a bit of a hangover from when I was trying to do things. Yeah, it's not actually used. So we potentially could get rid of it, and it would make it slightly um, uh, no, but we would just do it on queue.h. So do we do wait? Yeah, so we do queue.h if we set blocking. Cool. I will ignore that. And that queue.h will get the broadcast on that. So, this is done kind of. You have three functions: you queue push, queue pop, and queue pop blocking. And so the blocking will block until there is something in the queue, which could be useful for a job event queue type thing. Or you can just do non-blocking, which is the default, and then that will pretty much do those two things that I described. The so when we push, if there's nothing already, we'll allocate one, we'll set both to that thing. Otherwise, we'll do like the first one, set the previous thing of that to be that, and then pretty much set the new thing to be that. I think I had it round the head and the tail, but that's all right. They're pretty replaceable in a sense. Um, and the pop does similar, except it also has this blocking functionality that it will check whether it does some things. So we also have IO, I think. So that was just kind of the read full and write full. So I've made a bit more of a helper, and I don't know, made it. I don't know if it's any better or not. What else did I do? Log was something new. Yeah, we can do that. So logger is all those messages that you see out there is kind of produced by this kind of logger library, which all it is a structure with a file and a lock. That's all it is. When it's locked, you don't print. When it unlocks, it locks. And you can even lock it yourself. So you can do like an e-log lock, or just logger lock with whatever logger you have. And then you manually just do the e-log unlock. And that's possible because we use the error check mutex, which can allow recursion, and pretty much all we need to do is check for the log rec is deadlock, which means that it would be deadlocking if you were actually allowed to lock on it, because it's recursing. Right. So I think that's that. What else do we have? So yeah, we can just get rid of that. I'll also make some changes to the main things because I have had to. So read full and write full I've just removed because they're now part of that IO. The Euro query implementation, I had to do a little thing. So there's like some stuff. I feel like maybe I could do something like this. Uh, the log is not done in there, but we can. Uh, in fact, do we even need this log anymore? I think we do not, and just do a safety check, and it looks like it is downloading the thing, so we can get out of there. Um, cool. So in here we did need to do a thing, but we need to do a thing there and there. Now this one I'll do like a separate change. This I'll just add like that. So this was I had to change a few things. So I think I will add this. And this is also kind of the same. So this is also has a log. Is that all right? I think that might be. So that's that. And what we yeah, we'll stage log and stage IO as well. What was IO? It was IO. Yeah, we will also stage this, I think. So stage that. So that means we probably should do. I kind of want to test a thing. If I do this and um, this, um, and if I instead of doing this. Oh no, I did need that. Yeah, cool. So this I kind of don't want to do both at once, but that's all right. Um, the log maybe I will just take out. So this is just that I owe. It's like one of those commits that kind of touch a few things. Um, and like a lot of this code will be just gone skis at some point because I've kind of rewritten it. So did we need log? But yeah, so log is kind of part of IO. And why is that? Is that because we have some error and stuff? All right. Um, I want to see where I'm up to. Cool. So what are we stating? We taking away red and white for we're adding them back, and we're also doing like a longer and IO thing. And the longer is not like the best. Add longer and IO.h. Log.h and IO.h. Cool. Now, what do we have left? We've got this. We actually need to make sure that we are a log implementation. um, And what was this thing? This thing was that. Yeah, so I think uh that is all legit. And up here we can probably let's do that books euro query add euro query mutation. That's how I handle that. And what do we have left now? So we kind of have the job, the queue, and um, this this random thing, which it's like it should be done. So if we say, for example, search for this, there is zero of them, but if we search for without the S, there is three of them. So we actually make use of this. So I think I'll add that. And fix typo. And what do we have now? I have this app queue. So the queue, I think, will maybe just add now. So stage cc and queue.h. We don't actually. How did I did not do the thing that I wanted to do, but we can do that and add q dot h. Because what happened was this one was actually job.h. So I think I want to, can we ZA that? And no, how we um I kind of wanted to do that I mean the last commit without editing the message, reword um that just what I um I mean I can do a revert, but that's not quite what I want. Um I kind of want to do can we do like a remaximized I the origin? Yeah, let's go from there. We're not allowed because we have this. So I think this we probably should just just do that and do like this and we want that there and reword this and fix up that and add dot.c and you need to clear. Cool. So I think all I've really done is just kind of added all my commits up into it doesn't even do the right thing. Or it's like potentially at main. Uh, yeah, that was a little test I was gonna do, but now we can probably just go the A, yeah. Um, or stage that underneath the A, yeah, that one, yeah, cool. And yeah, cool. So now it still works. That's really the important thing. The other thing I could do here is actually kind of jump ship, and I was kind of holding off on it because Codecrafters is still kind of down. So I'm somewhat hoping that the majority of my code still kind of works, and um, we could probably search make per download um, download. It's like probably a download file. Yeah, we could probably just do something like that. This will just pump it out to our standard out, which I probably am happy with. Um, and like, does that look about right? We can see. Yeah, so it starts with what is a hacker? What is a hacker? What is indeed? So what I can do is I can probably I don't really want to like push this gross thing, but it is what it is. I want to get this and kind of mutate it into not what it is. Pretty much have the job.h be just the job of queue type thing, and move the torrent file and stuff out into places it should belong. But I think for now, I'm kind of interested in this latest challenge that we were on because now that I've got this kind of very easy, let's do this, and it will just do all the right things for me. We can see here that's not the command I want. I want maybe another make PRG. So if I do this, it'll download two things. It'll download the first one, and then it will try and download a torrent file. And what we can see here is after, yeah, so what do we have? Man, Vim like takes 10 years to redraw. So do, 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 we at some point here, like, yeah, we get the pairs. So we've got a few pairs. We got three pairs. So we should connect to these and do some things. We do some handshakes. We have some file descriptors for them. So that's cool. And we received a bit field, which is cool. That means that's good. And then we get a peer message of type 20. Now, that is not a message type that is defined in this. It goes up to 8. So I think this is kind of what is potentially happening here. I'm not too sure. What I can do is look at the uh, flows for that thing. Might close this and um, maybe do this and just do that last one. Cool. So here we can see. So it should. it did an announce it, so that's where it got the got them it got the uh, peers, and it does say that it seems and receives some stuff, but I am not really seeing them here, so I'm wondering whether this uh, so 13959 135. Yeah, so that just isn't in the list. So I wonder. Um, see, now this was where it was actually kind of handy, but like we can like yeah, I don't know. It- I think I want this. Um, pass on or magnet. I think I want to do something like that. Type file or magnet, and this is going to be the data, and that is just going to be whatever that stuff is. Um, so pass type file. So we could probably do something like that, and then this is going to be a product file, plus current file or magnet, and this is going to be star data, something like that, and something like that, and um. And maybe a safety if data equals no, return no. And do a safety gas, right? So we get some warnings, and that's because we actually do say this is const, which it kind of is. Right. So what I am kind of going back and forth with is I want to kind of see what the pairs for a certain thing is, but to do so, I kind of need to do something like this, I think. And because this takes just the it's kind of assumed that you've already got it. Um, so the get handshake job, I think, it just isn't cool. Um, so I think the first thing I'll do is get rid of that. Now, info tyrant job also isn't cool. Now, I guess the get handshake job is kind of useful because we'll need it in the info tyrant job. So I did used to have like a bunch of commented stuff out down here, but I kind of got rid of it because I decided I didn't need it. And you can kind of work out what would have happened. So you basically call a function with the jobs list, which is just a job list, and with some data. And if that job, so it completed, if it had a callback, it calls it back. Otherwise, it doesn't. Then it signals waiters, and there were waiters and whatnot. But what I think I want to do is like these like info ones just aren't really so the info ones are really just I want to like those jobs so we don't really need jobs yet. So what I think I might do is try and get rid of some of these things. So because of that, we don't really need to print out that, I guess. And so now, like, kind of, the get his job, I think, doesn't need to have the um, that on it. That. Um, but potentially it should be called something a bit different. So maybe I'll just keep it how it is. But maybe I won't because it has nothing to do with a job and it has no jobs part of it. So what other job is there? We had a puzz. That doesn't really need to be a job. The get handshake job. We don't really need. I think I deleted it before. I'll delete it again. So this info torrent file, I think this needs to just take um, just the stuff that was well. Actually, let's do this and get this and so here we don't have jobs. It's interesting that didn't show up in my search. Still don't have it. Cool. But that means that we don't have that. Don't have that. Hmm. So what do I want to do? Having this is no longer a job. No longer a job. Um, so the get handshake job, um, we kind of just want it to. Um, this whole handle connection is a thing, but this info pairs, we probably just want to change that to be like that and info pairs. Um, and this will not have a that, it won't have that, it won't have that, it won't have just any of those. And so it will get the his, and I suppose at this stage we can safely say that this has got it. Um, and this, hmm, and why, I wonder, uh, I guess these can just have, something like that. Right, so we get known pairs, otherwise we that's a print block. I think I can just do that. Um, which there is none. Um, and that's just that. And so yeah, and I guess the comes to our data. What I could do with this little boy is if you already had a time file, which I don't know, I think so what I want to do is just go back to where I was dealing with. There was info pairs. Um, Info pairs, and this whole thing I think also just needs to be void and return false can just be return. Um, we're not doing heavy locking. Uh, see to that return. Um, we do have some data things, so yes, go to end. Thank you very much. Um, so that end, I assume we don't really care about. Uh, um, don't care about what it has, and that can just lean out these stuff. Cool. So, does that still kind of do things? We don't have a ret. I think that's legit. But I think that is also only we should do that if current is set, which I think it is always at that point. Um, right, so that one still kind of works. Mm, that's kind of what I want. And that looks like it works. It didn't plain e log success. Try and find out if I actually did it. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, success. Maybe without that full stop because we're not really doing it for anything else. So what did that other function? It was called info pairs that I did that. So info pairs and info handshake is also kind of another thing. Um, so if we go this and go info is you can kind of see the same thing. So that's just going to show me the output. Um, So like if we had already parsed that torrent file, we would have a holding from it. So I'm wondering whether it would be nice to kind of just take me there. Yeah, I don't know. Right, so this info handshake, what was I thinking with that? So this was thinking a pair connection would come back through. So the pair connection is something that isn't really exposed too much. It's also passed in the handle connection, but that's kind of is like right when you initialize these threads. Pair connection, where do we have it? So pair connection is this type of thing here. So I guess I can kind of give it that. But maybe I will instead of maybe take me there. Um, you can potentially just give it that and uh, size t here, and then that way we can then just ask for the particular pair that we want. And so that will be you. So this is going to be data, but we'll make it void star either way. Um, and we will also pass it here, except we won't actually make it void star, and we'll make it a string, and we'll make it a const char. So that means that can't do anything. Um, and just if it returns, it returns. Cool. This is using like P error a bit, which I wanted to kind of avoid. So which I guess down here I also did, but other places uh, I didn't. But yeah, this is when I do some logging, like just for the print log actually. Right, so info handshake, we get that. So we probably need to get the torrent file. Um, torrent file uh, torrent. So this is we can do that, and this can be as torrent file or magnet, and this can be just data. And if torrent equal null, then this can return. And I think here, if we probably want to get the pairs. Um, so I didn't want to do that. So this is it's not gonna be well. Let's just leave it kind of broken like that to start with. Maybe if I do that, then like yeah, now Bill has to rethink on things. That's all right. Cool. So if we do that info handshake, we should probably also do this get pairs. And we can get pairs there. And if we can't get them, we should probably bail out. Otherwise, we should um, this can equal to what do you need? You need like a IDX equal uh yeah, and you also need a current equal tone, and something like that. I believe that's kind of what you need, and so the handle connection. So we'll get that, and we can then figure out kind of what things do there. So we would just do something like that. I believe that's probably legit. We probably don't want this pair log. Um, I mean, and if it is, we probably don't want to return, but maybe with error, couldn't connect. We don't need to get those again because we already hang out there. Otherwise, we do this print block and do the print the PID. Cool. So here's where I think I can probably do something like info handshake from connection. And this can just take in the yeah, connection. And maybe later we can have that. And in this, we can probably do the bulk of the work and well, just would be really cool if it like can hide thing. So this means that we torrent file. This will be a torrent, and this will equally here torrent. And if yeah, if no, then we can probably return. If torrent equal no, we can probably return. If here.idx here idx is uh, if torrent dot is equal to no, we can probably do like a this bad boy. And do that, and then if here the IDX is greater than or equal to, I believe, yeah, I believe that is what we want, and this will be torrent slash num is, and if that is the case, then we probably also want to return, but maybe with a little error, yeah, index, send, percent z out of range of, and we probably want next to have here IX and current num here's and I think yes, I don't want it to be equals Cool. So if that's the case, we do all that. Maybe this we can probably cool get along. You know, uh, get along. You know, connection, something like that. Right, so we don't actually use that. This we probably need to do that. Right, so we never actually use this uh, one here. So what we can do is probably just go info handshake from connection and pass it in the here. Yes, that's all good. Connection. We will call it a connection, and that will be that. Cool. So we're doing like a thing. I might get rid of that one and info. Um, well, what were we getting? We were info peers. We've done that info handshake. So info handshake, we can probably try a couple of those. Info uh, handshake, and we can probably try a 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 will probably error out. So if we do that, we're getting peer ID of 0, and that isn't the best. And we didn't actually fail on the last one. So I wonder if I go from handshake. So if we could not, I think I do want it to be like that. And the peer ID, I'm a little concerned why it's uh, why we didn't get anything. Right, so we get peers and we info from handshake, we connect and do that, we get a bunch of things. So this response we are not looking at in the right place. So this response, do we need to be well, we can probably search for this. Um, we kind of get it in there. So this thing here, we kind of do need to do, and that was in that get handshake job, which I think I kind of just ignored the fact. So I think this I kind of want to um, just get a peer connection here. And that is what we have. We don't have jobs. We can just call it here. I think that's what we've called it down there. We don't have data. We do some locking. I don't know if it is needed. So Um, Here we probably just want to go uh, go to unlock. Is that what we want? But rec equals here, and usually we just want rec equal to null. I mean, what is really we should be returning a like that type thing, and if it's actually just getting too fancy. So if we uh, return -1 in places, let's do that one. Thanks. Um, and here we can just go here, FD, and here we can return rep, and this rep we can rep equal to well, incorrect equal -1, something like that, and that is what we will return if uh, we can't do so. When we do that, and then we'll do the unlock and need one there. Cool. So yeah, I think that get handshake is actually kind of handy. So in the info file, do we do a handshake? We don't. Um, but we've got this. We do like a read on the torrent, which I'm just not sure whether we only got up to here. That's what I was thinking. It was a bit lost. Um, what was that handshake? I was thinking before. This handshake here, no, get handshake. So this get handshake should set the uh, peer reserved and peer ID. I think that is kind of what we want. Um, get handshake. Really, we can probably do something like that. And this we can actually just return a bool, and here we can bool, and we default to false. That false, then we will be there. Here we change rect to be true, and do something like that. False and that. Cool. So then, where else did we kind of need handshake? So we can then just go this get handshake. And so if we search for more handshake things, that's that. And I think we can probably just do something like this. But then that's just the pair. We could probably just do it right there. If yeah, if d equal -1, or we do this, or here d equals 0, because if we zero initialize it, it might just be 0, which is annoying. It standard out, but I don't think standard out will ever be our error thing. So do we need that response? Well, in fact, let's just see what is failing here now. So here we decided we didn't need any of that. We just needed the here, I guess. And we can probably just do something like this. Is that what we said down here though? If it has not been initialized, then we will do this and potentially handle fails. Um, so I potentially want to like check that it did it right, but maybe if we did something like this, we don't need up to host. That's cool. We try and connect. We'll do something like that. We should probably do this sort of stuff down in handshake, where we kind of get it down here. So if we do that and then we check that. Um, right, so we get some errors, probably want to check some things. Return with a value, but it's void. That's all good. Do we have a lot at the moment? No. So that's that. Still got some warnings. Another one here. So here we have to return something. No is a good a thing as any. Right, so that is getting some things, and the peer ID, as we can see, is getting some things. And so I wonder if we do that big one again and just make sure that the that looks like it did it right. Just wanted to make sure that it was doing the thing. No, I wanted to do that maybe, thanks. So what was I thinking with this one? So this I was thinking that equals necessity. So that's number 3, does it? Yeah, so it does not know how to deal with that. So it does need to be that. Cool. So that's like a bit more shipped out of this, kind of turning away from the job base to not. So here's another one, info torrent file. It's potentially the last one. Yeah, so this bull handshake was that one that we just did, and the get pairs that we also does the right thing. So get pairs and get handshake kind of makes sense. So info torrent file, this can also just be a void, and this is going to be a like from like, do I want to take the torrent file from this? Um, in which case, like, I actually wonder whether these kind of all should take the current file as the thing, but I kind of do want to all these info ones, like I can just do something like this and start doing some jumping, do something like that, and the tool that. So the I kind of like parse them first, which um, that's we don't need to do that. But yeah, potentially if it's right, so we don't care about that. We do. Yeah, do we like need to actually do this lock? I am uncertain we do. Um, and that is just the that. So potentially we do, but like because of the way this is kind of doing it. Well, I don't know. We've done a handshake there. Let me unlock it. Yeah, so info torrent. Yeah, so we probably should be. I don't know. We probably should be good citizens. We've got a lock there. May as well kind of use it. Um, so if we do stuff like this, then I can kind of like it should always be null there, but and like because we're parsing it, that torrent file shouldn't exist anywhere else for people to tamper with it. But if we've got a lock, we may as well kind of use it. Or no, I think uh, well maybe if it's there. So the unlock torrent needs to come back. Unlock torrent, and that is going to be something like that, and it's not going to be that. It's going to be read lock, and it's going to be torrent lock, and this is going to be the read lock unlock, something like that. Do something like that. But we still do the lock around it. So where else should we be doing locks? So I've pretty much got a lock. Um, Once we parse it, we don't need to do any locking inside the parsing. When we get the pairs, we're getting a right lock. So we have a right lock. Um, if we already have pairs at this stage, then yeah. Though this could be like a refresh job. Yeah, see what it is. And then we unlock the right lock. When we get a handshake, we are getting a read lock on it just to check current pairs. That is probably acceptable. and we check whether we should unlock it. So that should all come to there, and then unlock should unlock that read write. So here we also do a read lock there. So the get handshake we are getting from a pair. From a pair connection, so it's kind of assumed that we already have the pairs by then. So we should right, so do we need to kind of I'm wondering if in get pairs, because it's getting the right lock, I'm wondering whether if you already had a read lock, that would kind of fail. It's kind of interesting because, yeah, I want to read it to see whether, yeah. So I guess everything else has it, so I may as well try and do that and do a lock current, which we will do at the end, and this we probably want to just return. Well, it's all going to return in the end. And so if we could not do there, we should probably go to unlock, lock that one there. If there are no pairs, we probably want to print out that. Um, and that's that. Now, in this handle connection, we just do not do any locking at all. And that is, so far, it has not really been a issue. So I wonder where I actually kind of might read things from. So we read from requests, but requests should just be initialized at the start, and that handles killing itself. We handle writing to well, we read number of pieces, but this is kind of assuming that we already have an initialized torrent file which will have the stuff there. I think we are kind of all right being lock free on that, which is why I wonder whether we actually need locks on the thing at all. But that is that. So I wonder if this whole thing goes, so this doesn't. If we do something like that, does that be alright? We don't have a ret. We don't have a ret. Is there just not a? Yeah, there's just not a ret. Not a ret to go to. Yes, I did mean that. Boy, go back to the D, go back to the D and change it for a W, change it for a W. Right, there was still a warning. Alright, this, probably do that. So this probably do some things. Right, so pair index out of range, we probably want to get rid of that, but what if we do something like this? Was info torrent? Yes, info torrent. Wow. Um, and the info torrent file should print out a bunch of things. The tracker URL does not look right though. That is kind of interesting. Your BitTorrent info sample docs torrent. If we did something like that, the tracker URL is the full thing, but this only did the HTTP, which is interesting. So because of that, I don't really want to switch over straight away. I want to be able to figure out what's wrong with that. So the parsing of it does do some stuff potentially. So this is when we pass from torrent file. It's because we free free. Um, this is when we're doing it via a magnet. So if we're doing it via a magnet, we don't care. This is the one we care about. So if it is not a success, so success comes there, then we're kind of freeing all the things there. It's kind of frustrating because Rich Tracker is this bad boy here, and I guess this announce. So I don't know. E log. This can be there and rect Tracker. Maybe we'll do that there and maybe also there just to see whether it's getting deleted or not. So it would have helped if I duplicated. So that one is not getting. So we probably need to do this ti equals and where was the first one? Do something like that with the new line, so then I can actually see it. So here we should get ti equals, and it's got the whole thing, and it's got it after um, the end. So the log. So this was after we get the parse torrent file. So we wanted what is info torrent file. So we parsed it. It should be e log ti equals um, and that. So this should be the same as what is kind of pumped out of there. That's kind of what my thinking is. So it's being trimmed off. So one problem is when we do URL parsing, URL paths. So when we do this. No, parse URL. So this parse URL, do we have another point? Yeah, so this parse URL, we actually create a string that like it modifies the string, which is slightly annoying. So what we can do is we can do a star tr equals str deep and tracker. And I mean, the in does not need to be there. I will just take its word for it. And here we can put in that. And so the tracker, we probably want to do something like this, and that do we actually have an error? We do not. So error, we should probably go to a lot, and same with there, and same with there, and same with there. So track response from that. So if this is all right, I think we can go something like free TR, but we probably just want to do it all the time. So if TR, we can probably just do that. And here we can maybe actually just be no, and we can just set it when we need it. TR equals that, and if TR equals no, this is really unreachable. This is like we have. I don't really want that happening. All that. That's, but I take the message. Yeah. So very short term that we actually need it, which kind of makes me want to just do it here and do something like this. With part of it, and we'll free it here, and we'll also free it here. And I wonder if that will cause issues. Yeah, so that's a double free because we also do it down here, which we should. So if we do this, that's looking good. Tracker URL is full. We can probably see if we can download the full thing as well. And that should it does it first. So what I might do is do that, and I don't actually have one for download single piece, but I could reasonably easily create it for that. But yeah, so it looked like this did work. If which is the case, no, it did not. Got a pass mismatch. Now, did it get it other times as well? Yeah, so we get it other times as well. So what I first wonder, 3TR, if we say did not do it there, it's just I know, but I just want to see whether it's so it still gets that mismatch of the hashes. But it doesn't always. Need some threading. Needs some. I need something in there to make sure that I'm doing it right. Now it's kind of interesting that it was. It seems to be only when we add in some other things that it might be like no. Yeah, so that's where it can't read anything. Ooh, that's interesting. Um, yeah, connection is just lost, and so we should potentially re-handshake. But what I wonder is whether it's because we have like already got a handshake with them. So I think it's just these handshake jobs that are like causing it to kind of fail on some connections because we don't end it. But now it's just not. Um, it's like we're holding the connection open and it's like, nah, you can't send too much. So now it's like, yeah, got some connection loss and whatnot. So that's kind of interesting. Is it very intermittent? um, I mean, it could be that it just happens to be it tries from that one, but in the meantime, it finishes it all from the other ones. So like that doesn't get it. Um, so I think if my theory is correct, this thing here should probably uh, close the uh, close the handshake when we get it. Um, uh, Go to close, and the close can be so we'll do a quick test here. If D is greater than 0, then we can go close here if the something like that. And I think if you are doing something like so, you should probably set this back to -1 just to say that it is closed. Now this uh, what do I mean by close? No, close is just a thing. It's an unisted. Thank you very much. Unisted. Um, so now, with that close in mind, we are getting success. What happens if we say do that and we try it again? So I think that was the issue, and now we kind of have the same. So what I think I want to do here is kind of to see what I've done. Add in some stuff. So I'm kind of getting the info stuff right, and yeah, see how that goes. And can chuck these back in at a later point into a thing like a job queue, but for now, I think I'll just do it like this. I think this is looking all good. Yeah, I think I am happy just to go, yep, and we can call this clean up info star functions in job.c. Ready to move. Cool, maybe it is ready to move. So what if we go push and GitHub. I can push this up to GitHub for you folks, and I can also like see if it'll push up here. It's like having a bit of hassles. It still won't pass this one, but that's that. But I think for now, that's probably it for today. Yeah, it looks like this is potentially not going right. So if we see Codecrafters previous, are we still? Yeah, we're still experiencing downtime. That's all right. So I think from here, there's like a few things that could be done, but what I kind of want to build my way up to is getting this magnet one next, maybe, but potentially also cleaning this up so I can move. Like potentially just all of this stuff up to wherever the job stuff started into its own little file and removing some of the duplicates because there's some stuff that doesn't need to exist anymore. But for now, I think thank you very much for watching me. Hopefully that was somewhat interesting. If not, who really cares? That's my project. Thank you anyway for watching, and I'll see you next time.